Welcome, CanHammer fans! Your source for 40k from the Great White North. Today, we are doing a very special read-along of the Tyranid Codex.
Woohoo! It's still shrink wrapped.
Yeah, amazing. So normally I get these on the Thursday, Friday, and I like to put it out on the Saturday, but I've been saving myself for Phil.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. And I haven't actually looked at anything.
Yeah.
So this will be my... Other than internet stuff that I've that people have talked about.
So you guys all know Phil's a Tyranid player.
Yeah.
You've seen his army on the channel many times.
Yeah.
And so we're going to read through this together and just banter about it.
Yeah.
This is, as usual, shrink wrapped still, so I have yet to look at it. I've tried to avoid as many leaks and things as I can, but it's impossible these days. We've got the old index here as well, and we've got a whole bunch of models too.
Yeah, and we'll probably talk about. I've heard a few things, so I'm looking forward to it because apparently a lot of the stuff that I was already using seems to have gotten a whole bunch better.
I think everything got better.
So yeah, I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is we'll also have chats around the stuff in terms of, because we have upcoming Power Fist and Psychers 9, it's in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Phil's going, he's bringing his NIDs, so we'll have a unique competitive perspective as well on that. So we're just doing this intro, but we're going to film it in the usual top-down standard so people can see the pages, but you'll hear both our voices and we may pop the odd model into view. Yeah. So we're going to get going, we're going to rip this bad boy open and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, here we are. We've unwrapped it, and this is gonna be.
The NIDs are very excited.
The card effects is. Is that a card effects on the cover?
No, it's a warrior.
What is it?
It's
a warrior.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a warrior.
Okay. They all look the same to me. Sorry, Phil. They just do. Okay, well, let's crack it open. Yep. With usual read-along fashion, we are going to skip the fluff. Do you know a lot of fluff, Phil?
I do, but I think what's cool about this one is that they seem to have added some Hive fleets. So yeah, Hive, Kraken, Leviathan.
Like all these pictures and stuff you've seen before?
No, these look pretty new.
Is all new stuff?
There's some new artwork in there for sure. But I think they definitely added some new Hive fleets, like Kronos and Hydra, and some of these other Hive fleets are new. So I think they added a bunch of fluff in it.
Do you listen to Force the Narrative?
I listen to all of them. So yeah,
So Guy Haley was on, right? And they're releasing finally releasing the story of the Battle of Baal or Baal.
Is it
with Hive Fleet Leviathan?
Yeah, isn't that like the Blood Angels?
It's coming out like in the next 2-3 weeks.
Wicked.
Yeah, the attack on the Blood Angels homeworld.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Look at this.
Cool, pretty maps.
It'll take you like 20 minutes just to figure out what this map is showing.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? We did that campaign at FTB a while back, and it's pretty much the same map. So.
Oh well, this is current.
Yeah.
After the
Fallen Primarch.
So this is a new map.
NIDs are all up there. So.
Yeah, because this is a new map because that's just since Fallen Primarch. So
yeah, we have a lot of very dedicated Tyranid players in the Ottawa area.
We do.
Which is super sweet.
Yeah. And so we made the decision to allow the Tyranid Codex for PnP.
That's
for that reason. Even though people may not feel like they know how to really play it that well yet by that time, but we'll see.
We'll definitely be getting some test games in to make sure everything is copacetic.
So I didn't realize the Hive fleets have specific color schemes.
They do, yeah. So yeah, Leviathan is the purple that's
okay. So that sort of GW classic one is Leviathan. All right, cool.
And then
that's similar to what kind of Jeremy does.
Which one's that one? I forget the name of that one. Behemoth, yeah.
Behemoth.
Okay. Behemoth. Oh, cool. Because these are the new ones. So yeah, so Hive Fleet Gorgon is one of the new ones.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Hydra, I guess, was never really. Kronos, that's another one.
Hive Fleet Tiamat.
Ouroboros.
Not to be confused with Tiamat, so that they don't get, Jormungandr, which is a big dragon in Final Fantasy.
But they're all like like my Hive fleet is Kraken, I think.
Yeah,
or Karnak. Sorry. Yeah, they're all kind of like.
We all know that GW steals stuff from.
It's all Okay, cool. All
right, let's see. We'll get a little bit closer. Okay, so now we're into the rules, and that is page 82 of. I always like to give people a statistic because they ask me stuff like that. 82 of 128, so 2/3 of the way in, which is actually what all the codexes have been.
I think from what I've heard, some changes to special abilities because synapse. Well, synapse is still 12.
Okay, well let's talk about it. So they all get their Hive fleets now, which are similar to the regiments or the chapters or all that sort of stuff. So synapse is the same, right?
It's still auto pass morale.
So 12 inches auto pass morale. Okay, that's the same as before.
Yeah.
Instinctive behavior has changed.
Yes, and that's the part that like the change is sweet because it makes it, because before, like, the problem with these restrictive rules are that
so previously if you were out of synapse,
you know what, synapse is what used to be 8 inches, now it's
okay,
12,
so now synapse has gone up 4 inches, which is great. Yep. And previously instinctive behavior, if you were out of that 8 inches, you'd
have to basically shoot or assault the nearest enemy model,
or do neither of those things.
Yeah, which would normally you could actually, like, it wasn't as bad as it used to be because you could still move your units and then hope to get closer. But I think we played a game once. You had what's that Calexis assassin, and he was the closest model, and he's hard to shoot.
Yeah.
So he just shot the entire army down.
So now it's 24 inches, which is double the synapse range, which is interesting. But basically, 24 inches is very coverable for Tyranids.
It's much nicer, yeah.
And then all you get is a -1 to hit when you're shooting. That's something other than the nearest target, and a -2 to your charge roll if you charge anything other than the nearest.
So all of that is
great.
Awesome. So
that's awesome.
I just think it's fantastic.
So many things have -1 to hit anyway these days.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
but that's key. That 24, it's like double the 12-inch.
It just mitigates some of the irritation of playing the army, which already wasn't as bad as it used to be back in the old days. Like last Codex was so complicated to
and this is what I'm loving about Tyranids so far is the return of the kind of anti-psyker feel of the army, right?
Well, and here's the shadows in the warp now, and what's changed is huge, because before it was you had an 8-inch bubble,
which is nothing. Like your base is like
So it was really bad, and now it's 18.
18-inch bubble.
It's your
which is your smite range, your deny range.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
so -1 from a psychic test if they're within 18 inches, which is awesome. I don't believe this is cumulative. So
no, because it's always within any unit with this ability. But what it means is just that you can annoy psyker heavy armies, and again like these fellas who
Hive
are
tyrants,
super fast.
They're just walking around with a 50% Calexis bubble basically.
Yeah, and they'll go where they want to go. So
good. And there's other things in this book that bring that anti-psyker flair, and I think. I'm not saying it's a hard counter to 14 Malefic Lords, but it certainly is something the game needs, which is more anti-psyker, other than Calexis Assassin. So I love that. We don't normally go through in detail all the data slates, but we touch on the things that have changed, and I like to just stop on every page so people can freeze frame it if they really want to see it. But
I'm just looking really quick to see. 'Cause I used to Brood Lords were great before.
Yeah, I don't think the Brood Lords changed very much.
No, they seem.
But this baby has changed. Yeah, the Hive Tyrant.
And he was the backbone. Like the Hive Tyrant was always the backbone of.
Coming from an edition of Codex Tyrant. They kind of really quite disappeared in the Index in 8th, and then now I think we're going to see a bunch of them again.
I was running them, but like. They would just die. I love them. I think they're great, but they would still be very vulnerable to being one shot. But he's down 1 power level.
A lot of things went down a power level, I find. So his toughness is up to 7. That is huge.
Yep.
That makes a big difference in terms of things like
12 wounds,
autocannons, and things like that. A lot of things that have Skyfire or what is like that +1 to hit flyers are strength 7.
That's true, yeah.
And so that makes them 4s instead of 3s.
Still vulnerable to missiles, but whatever. I mean, that's missiles and las is still going to be the bane of monstrous creatures.
But more toughness is always better, and things like twin link assault cannons are not wrecking you as hard now.
Well, this is
because they're wounding on 5s now.
And what's interesting is he seems to have lost an attack unless you. This is in addition to the bears. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay,
so what they've done is they fixed that confusion about how the tails work.
The tails were kind of an obnoxious rule.
Yeah, so they've taken, it's also happened on like the Trigons and stuff. They took that attack away to make you, if you want to do that, and then you have to use the tail. So they went down, I think there's still 12 wounds, right?
No, there used to be 10. Now they're 12.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's harder to kill, but they're still targetable.
Yep. Which is fine. They need to be. They're monstrous creatures.
They would have been too hardcore if you made them like 9.
No, and they're big monsters. They should be able to take a couple of shits. But the biggest thing I think for me, that 4-up invul is really nice.
So they're now 4-up invul instead of 5-up, and a 4-up is a huge jump on 5-up.
Yep.
Both emotionally and mathematically. 4-up is so much better than 5-up.
And I'm assuming there's ways of giving them additional saves. So I think that's nice, especially for because my Warlord was always a flying Hive tank. I love them.
So of course they're a moving 18-inch -1 psychic test bubble, also a moving 12-inch synapse bubble.
But he's 18,
and their synapse is actually 18, which is just
because before that's why I always got confused that I would always run my synapse with Hive Tyrant, so it was 12. But now the basic synapse is 12, they go to 18. So so like money, man.
And while we're on him, we should talk about the what's his gun called?
Well, actually, there's a couple other things too. He does, if you give him wings now, he can also deep strike, which is amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This model may have wings. If it does, second set of move characters and damage to but it gains fly.
Yeah.
Swooping assault during tournament, you can set up Hive Tyrant with wings. Oh man, that's awesome.
So
I mean, not that they needed that before because
so good.
I mean, it means you won't get alpha struck if you don't get first turn.
No, yeah, you can keep them up, and then you can also like now the problem. I mean, the problem with this edition is that I snapped off all of my guns to give them something else. So now it feels like if you drop them in, you just shoot with your death spitters and your.
I mean, deep strike is very powerful, but good armies these days always have a way of pushing that deep strike bubble away. So maybe better for you actually to start on the table behind a building or something, and then fly right in the middle, right?
It's tactical flexibility, so I think that part is great.
It's certainly good. And what's the Devourers that he has?
Well, he's got a whole bunch. So his go-to weapons in the previous edition was the Devourers with brain leech worms. So
now
he gets 2 pairs of them.
What are they called?
They're in the monstrous weapons. I think these are probably these are the melee weapons. So that's,
okay.
So range weapons, but I think you got like your biomorphs. There you go. Where are we? Devourers, there you go.
Devourers with brain leech worms.
So I think in the previous version they had essentially halved the.
So 18 inches, assault 6, 601.
And I seem to recall when we stopped using them was because they went down to 3, assault 3, which was pretty.
Yeah, they got majorly nerfed right in the index.
Yeah, let's see. Where are you? Death spitters, blah blah blah. Devourers. What do you call them again? It was
Devourers.
Devourers. They were assault 3.
So the Devourer is still assault 3, but the brain leech worms makes it doubles the shots.
Yeah.
And the Devourer is only strength 4, and the brain leech makes them strength 6.
So basically they double the amount of shots, which is great. So and they get 2 of those, so it's 12 shots at 6. Oh, sorry, no. To be fair, I think you know what? I think they get a pair of these. So if you look at the monstrous weapons.
And Hive Tyrant replace both pairs of monstrous sighting tabs with 2 items from the bio cannons or 2 items from the bio weapons.
And if you look at the monstrous one, it's
2 Devourers.
So basically each set is 2. So basically he's 24 shots.
Each set is 2.
Yeah. So because it's like one of the monstrous weapons is 2 Devourers.
Both pairs with 2 items.
Yeah. So
from this list, and each item is 2.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So he went back up to his 12 basically.
So before he had 12 with Twin Link, and then when the edition changed, it was 12 without Twin Link. But now 24 is basically 12. Yeah.
So man.
I snapped them all off, but I kept them. They're in my bits box. I might have to snap them off.
That's like that. Insane. That's insane.
But there's another one that will catch our eye. So let's go back to that page because the other one that changed.
Like gun?
Yeah, his death spitters. So the death spitters also changed. So Slimer Maggot death spitters. You get 3 shots at 24-inch range. So basically
they were 12 or something.
They were 18. So a lot of the stuff was 18 inches. This one just pumped up to 24, which is so nice. Strength
7 -1/1. Wow.
So obviously here you don't get 24 shots. You'll get 12, but you're getting
12 shots. Yeah, and that's gonna kill a rhino on 4s. So
so in strength, strength 7 -1. The -1 rend is always
that is pretty sweet.
Is kind of key. So. Yeah, and he gets access to the big guns too, right? So I've never really used my flying.
No, I've never seen a Hive Tyrant with the big guns.
The big guns, but we can take a look.
But this is the addition of lots of shots over.
So here's a nice change. So your heavy venom cannon, which is one of the options he can take. You're still at 36. You're still assault D3, which is kind of I think it used to be heavy D3. I'm not too sure. Strength is the same. This -2 AP is nice because it was -1 AP before.
Okay.
And this
straight
is
up 3 damage.
And straight up 3 damage, which is also
nice.
really nice because if I'm not mistaken, I used to run these on the harpies.
Yeah.
But harpies, the problem was that you were at -1 rend
Yeah.
on a gun that had a high strength, so you're trying to like pop high armored targets, and then they
To be honest, I'd love a las cannon to have that profile than the one that it does.
Yeah,
Straight up 3 is better. D3 shots.
Yeah, and I think before that one was heavy. Where are you? I think it was heavy man. -1 and D3 damage. So the flat 3 is like so clutch.
So much better, and -2 is obviously
flat 3
-1.
is just straight up the best.
All right, so we'll move on. But that Hive Tyrant has been beefed big time.
Yep.
We'll always look at the points at the end, so we don't end up flipping back and forth too much. So. Swarmy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Swarmlord has changed.
He's gonna be in sync with the Hive Tyrant. So I mean, he's got 12 wounds. I think he had less. He had this.
So he has 4+ invul. I think he had that before, right?
No, he had
5 up invul.
He was
before.
a 5 up. But
so now he has 4, and he gets +1 in combat. So now he goes up to a 3 up.
So he used to have the 4 up in combat.
Shit. Okay.
So now
is that a typo?
No, that's pretty sweet.
Okay, well, to be honest, they had to make him better for his points.
He's expensive, and I think he went down if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and his synapse goes up to 18 as well.
He still does his special moving ability, which is great.
Yeah. So he's still good.
And let's see the Bone Sabers. I just want to see flat 3. Bone Sabers used to be D6 damage. Now it's just straight damage.
Okay. If you ask me, straight 3 is better than D6.
For sure. Because the number of times that you roll that D6 and then you get a 1, is just
and
so
his,
not satisfying.
His tail is the same. Also, it says user, and it was flat 6 before.
Yeah, but his
so it can start off at 8 now.
Yeah, his strength is 8.
Yeah, so the tail got better until he gets dead.
Yeah. So he's the toughness went up. So he's got better too. Yeah, I
don't think he went up in points, but we'll see.
I do have him kicking around. I've used him a few times. I didn't really like him. I thought he was a heavy point sink. But I mean he's cool. Tyranid Prime. I think they swapped his points around. I mean, I'm sure he's still fun.
All right.
But I think there's that's the thing. He used to be like our go-to cheap HQ choice outside of Forge World.
Yeah.
Because I've got the Malanthrope was good, but we'll talk about this guy because he's the new kid on the block.
Okay.
But
we'll skip ahead. Turvagon, any big changes with Turvagon?
I don't know. I've used him before to great effect.
They keep the backlash, which is good. I like the backlash. I think it's very thematic.
He still has like
you can still spawn
a bunch of wounds and a bunch of stuff. And I think with some of the high fleet options, he's more survivable too. So
as I said, we won't necessarily go through every sheet. We'll talk about the good stuff. So the Neurothropes.
Yeah, he's the cheap new source of synapse. He's under the amount of wounds. You can't target him.
Yeah, only 5 wounds.
And I think he's like
3+ invuln.
Yeah. He's basically a super zoanthrope, kind of like the bastard stepchild of the
reroll
Doom
1s on
Mountain.
psychic tests.
Yeah.
And he heals if he smites something dead.
Yeah.
And he's a synapse, so yeah.
Yep. And I think he buffs. 30, he buffs his friendly zoanthropes.
Okay, 40 points or something like that.
Yep.
Like something you can cheap throw in for your brigade or battalion or.
Indeed. So it's good for a bunch of stuff, and I think when we get to zoanthropes, I think they had a nice.
Oh, one eye.
Yeah, I always I think.
So the Carnifex has made a return. You got one eye.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. He looks exactly the same with the other Carnifexes.
Yeah.
Does he have one eye?
He does. Like, see, he's got his skull. His skull's kind of caved in.
Okay. I never paid that much attention to the model before.
It's probably because we haven't seen him all that much.
No, but he got better. Obviously, instinctive behavior is a lot better. He still has his battering ram, which does the D3 when he charges in. And he still buffs Carnifexes around him.
They dropped him a wound, eh? He used to be 10 wounds, now he's 9.
Yeah, so now you can't target him.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
That's weird. That's
and he doesn't degrade.
Less wounds, more better.
Yeah, so his strength stays 7 all the way down till death.
His weapon
stays the same. His attacks are 5 all the way till death, right. And you can't target him. So he got instantly better because of that. And what's 1 wound these days? It's nothing, right? Yeah, and then he heals a wound, and I think his rampage is still the same, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest change for him is that now you can't target him,
and he's still good. He adds 1 to this bloody Carnifexes. So I think you can.
I think we're going to see some Carnifexes.
Yeah, they have like that new. Oh, you used to regenerate too. They have that. That spore cloud or something that you can give as an upgrade to the Carnifexes to make them less targetable. So,
Okay, Warriors. Anything? Not too much to say about Warriors.
They were fun synapse. They were cheap before. They're probably still as cheap.
So Gene Stealers changed a little bit for the Tyranids. They got this new ability, Infestation. Well, let's talk a little bit about that because that's an interesting ability. So if your army includes any units of Gene Stealers, you can put 4 nodes, infestation nodes, anywhere in your deployment zone when you deploy. You then set up any units of Gene Stealers lurking instead of on the battlefield. And then if in any model, they can get rid of the node by moving within 9 inches of it. And then while there are any infestation nodes on the battlefield left, you can actually set up this unit of Gene Stealers within 6 inches of any of those nodes, and then the node is gone. And if you happen to lose all 4 nodes and you haven't placed any of your units of Gene Stealers, then you lose them, which you deserve to lose if you forget that.
That's a nice.
So that's an interesting ability in terms of backfield defense, because most people don't think of Gene Stealers as backfield.
Right? Yeah, because if anyone gets to, I mean, they're great at killing stuff, but they're also, I mean, we saw in our games that they can die really quickly.
They die very quickly, and so you leave them till the enemy starts encroaching on your zone, and then they come out and wreck some stuff in your own backfield. It's interesting.
I never had that many Gene Stealers, so I didn't play with them all that much.
Want to buy
some? No, I'm good. Yeah, so I mean, and I know they're great. Like I know that they're awesome, and having seen them do their thing, they're fantastic. But I think there are a lot of points for a troop, and I have a soft spot for my 100 points for just a bucket full of gaunts. Like I like that. So
yeah, they had flesh hooks before.
I don't know. That's a good question. They probably had access. No, I don't think they had access to it. This is new. And the flesh hooks are a pistol too. So. No, they did not. That's
okay, because like my Gene Stealer cult don't have assault weapons. 6-inch range, assault 2.
Oh right,
strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy. So like pistols.
Yeah, and they gave them they did add a bunch of like bells and whistles because there's these options are on the kit, like the acid maw. Is on the kit. It's like I got a little.
Okay. For every 4 models, 1 model can have flesh hooks and or acid maw.
-3.
Okay, and then they have the toxin sacks and stuff.
And acid maw is -3. So
yeah, -3.
Sweet.
That's interesting.
And then,
but whatever. Like if you roll a 6, you get an AP -4 anyway.
Yeah.
On your 80 attacks or whatever. So that doesn't really matter much. But
and you do have this. You can give them a 4+ save.
Yeah.
But you lose the ability to run and.
Okay. Yeah. The biggest thing about Tyranid Gene Stealers versus the Gene Stealer cult ones is their troops.
Yeah.
Whereas in Gene Stealer cult they're elites.
Yeah.
So and we'll see if the points are different, but
and they are definitely like the hideous of all the troop choices for Tyranids, but.
So I don't think any of the gaunts changed except for the Devourers.
They
got
lost a
longer
couple
range.
of like sort of old relic. But like they used to have a gun, like a spine web, but they never had a gun for it, and they just don't have access to it anymore, which is fine. No one used it anymore.
I mean, the big thing for the Termagants is the Devourers went up to 18-inch. Oh no, they were 18-inch
Devourers
before?
were always 18. Yeah,
I thought they were 12 before.
No, flesh borers, because that. Yeah,
flesh.
Like I've got some with Devourers, but again, you add another 4 points. So.
All right, so Phil's most famous, favorite unit, Ripper Swarm.
Yeah, I'm sure
I don't think they changed it all. But cheap troops, man, that's what you need. Cheap troops.
35 points before, so I don't know.
Tyrant Guard.
Tyrant Guard. That's the ones that you give to your Hive Tyrants. Yeah. They're like the bullet sponges.
Yeah,
but I don't think they've changed all that.
I don't think we'll see those.
Yeah,
there's too many good things now to spend points on.
Yeah, these
Hive Guard.
These are my boys. There you go.
So Hive Guard, I don't think they actually changed themselves, but now there's things that let them shoot twice or something. Like that.
No, well, there's something that lets them reroll. I believe it's either +1 to hit or reroll ones.
So now you got your rerolls. I think that's coming later, which is great. But there is something I think that lets them shoot more than once.
Oh, that might be a CP.
Yeah, I mean they're already good because no line of sight is.
Yep. And they're still,
good.
heavy 2, 36-inch range, strength 8, -2. The shock cannons are a choice. I never used it before. I wouldn't be tempted to use it.
Yeah.
But they are inexpensive. Like their gun is expensive for the impaler cannon. So.
Okay.
Lictor's Death Leaper. They changed.
They changed. I'm not sure anybody's still gonna play them at all. I've never even seen one in person.
They're neat. Jeremy's used them, and I think he has fun with them every now and then. They do some stuff. I think Death Leaper had a bit of a nerf.
Just kind of deep striking like assault units.
Yeah, and they lost like instinctive behavior, which is great. So now they.
But you would just use Gene Stealers.
Yeah. They're a fun fluffy choice. This has changed, and I think that's one that I'm I don't have that many zoanthropes, and I think now they seem like they're worth it because before they had like a weird mechanic where you'd have 3 of them, but you could only like smite once basically. But now you can just do additional mortal wounds.
Yeah, which is awesome, and it's extended range to 24. So it inflicts an additional D3 mortal wounds on the enemy unit if you have 4 or 5 zoanthropes.
Yeah.
If you have 6 zoanthropes, it's straight up 3
so
mortals.
if you're and they have a 3-up invulnerable save, so it's still like
So yeah,
like,
killing
so
these guys is a bitch, and they're not worth it. And oh man,
but before they couldn't hit you, but now at least with this sort of upgraded smite, I think it's a bit
so
better.
these guys are kind of like the warlocks. Like the more of them you have, the stronger they get. Yeah, so cool, and they're synapse and shadow of the warp. So
and they combo up with your the neuroanthrope, so I think he kind of helps them out in some ways. So.
Yep.
Maliceptor, you were hot garbage before, like really bad. I don't know if he's changed all that much. Let's see. I'm actually curious about him because he's like someone that's never did all that great, but he seems like he's still pants. One mortal. That's like he can deal 1 mortal wound onto a unit on a 6. He does like he's a big giant monster that is kind of a crappier psyker than Hive Tyrants. So if he went down a lot in points, he might be cool. But I don't know. Venomthropes, they changed. They basically got like the Malanthrope's power.
Yeah.
If you have units of 3, so you can buff the big creatures.
So you can buff monsters if the monsters are units of 3 or more, which is not going to happen except for like Carnifexes?
Oh no, sorry. Is it just no? I think if they're 3 or more,
the Venomthrope has to be 3 or more. Then you can give your So the only thing is they're elites, and you want your Malanthropes usually for HQ slots or something.
Yeah, so I think the Malanthrope is better, and also the Malanthrope you can't target. Whereas these guys, you can choose to shoot at them, but if you shoot at them, you're not shooting at something else. But it depends on if there's stacking buffs, because I think there's a couple of high fleets that let you get -1 to so I think there's a way to combo them with something else.
But like in our meta, for example, where we don't allow Forge World,
right
now they're almost as good as Malanthropes, right?
Yeah, but like this thing, Tyranids at Forge World, there's not that many choices. So
we'll skip these guys. Power Wars.
I kind of hope that they made them a bit better. They still seem or whatever. I really like the Haruspex. A big, he was fun but terrible, and I think he's still kind of his 4+ to hit is where he just suffers so bad.
All right, you can read it if you like. Guys. Yeah. We'll keep going here. Raveners, Red Terror, Spore Mines. So
did they change?
Yeah. So they I think they changed, didn't they?
I don't know.
Somebody told me about them changing. Or was it the mucilid spores?
Mucilids, it might be the ones that shoot the spores. So I think there's been some changes to that. I mean, they seem like they're still floating around. Like no.
It was a stratagem that allows you to do something tricky. With spore mines.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't run them on their own, but you would run them like they basically come out of harpies. They come out of biovores. They come out of.
You saw that game of Planes Against Ryan where he had like 20 spore mines or something, right? It's funny. Exocrine,
that's one of my favorites.
Hasn't changed though, right? It's the same basically.
I think the points got shuffled around. Tyrannifex
changed apparently.
Yeah, this is the big one. You got your the good gun. Now it's heavy 3.
The rupture cannon
-3, which is huge. It used to be like -1 or -2 d6 damage. So the rupture cannon is good, and I think now he gets to shoot twice. Does he get to shoot twice?
If he does not move, he can shoot all of its weapons twice.
So you have a heavy 6, strength 10 -3.
It's basically a beefier version of the Exocrine, basically.
And I think it's got a place. Like I think I'm gonna run my. This is what
I remember playing. I can't remember. Was it you I played against the Tyrannifex, and I thought that's it. It was a gun. I was like, that's it.
I used the heavy 20. Like I tried that heavy 20 gun. Okay, but I mean, so if you could shoot it twice, you could shoot 40.
Heavy 20 is pretty sweet. Heavy 40 is even better.
Heavy 40
at strength 5. That's like in a day when you have to kill 800 conscripts.
So so I think I'll definitely try him. Biovores are probably still great.
Biovores are the same.
They're fun, mortal wounds.
So we'll give them stratagems to do things as awesome.
Toxicrene probably still sucks. Yeah,
Toxicrene still sucks. Carnifexes.
Yeah, man, look at all these.
Oh my goodness.
Options. So this is new.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of new upgrades now that they can have, and we can talk about them when we get to that page.
Skill gets you that 3+ to shoot, which is great. You can have like tusks to add an extra attack. You can spore cysts are awesome. Subtract 1 from their hit rolls for ranged attacks that targets a Carnifex with spore cysts.
Like I really like what they've done with the Carnifex because they've made it very fluffy and very versatile.
Well,
right?
and what's kind of like if you want a WYSIWYG, the problem is like so. I think these are probably the Sporcis. These will be your
Phil, you're not WYSIWYG now. You better change
your Kython horns.
You're not WYSIWYG.
Yeah, so now like I just would put them, and I think these are these little horns are probably enhanced senses. So that's that. I don't know what. So these are the tusks. So now like none of them are like.
The last time I played against Carnifexes was in the late '90s when they were still had those claws that come up in front like this. The Screamer Killers.
So they've made all the options, and the same thing because before it was like you had the Thresher tail, and then you had your Bone Mace tail. So like they gave all the options that you have. They're all worth something, but I think from years of modeling them as you see fit, you're kind of.
And now with instinctive behavior being so good, not that you're ever likely going to get out of that bubble these days, especially if you're following them up with like one eye, and then. With all these different ways of running them, they're still T7, 8 wound, 3+ save, hard to kill things, and they're not that expensive as we'll see.
And now Screamer Killers are a new thing too. They're basically just like a type of Carnifex with
so they got their own data entry?
Yeah. So
interesting.
And I think basically all they get is like the plasma. So they get the strength 7 -4.
Bioplasmic
and Scything Talons, which is kind of strange that they just decided to make him a thing. But like they have like a couple of they have options that some of these guys don't have, so you can't mix and match the plasma scream with something else.
Yeah, and they have this
on their terrifying.
Opponent adds 1 to morale test within 8 inches. So that's for what it's worth. That's good.
It's a strange choice to make it a new unit, but I mean I guess it harkens back to an old.
So that's what I was talking about in the '90s with the Screamer Killer with the claws that come out in front like this.
He yells at you.
Yeah. Old school. That's how old school I am, Phil.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. I've never even heard of this. That's a type of
Carnifex.
Okay, well, let's skip ahead.
Thornback is like your shooting. So you got your Death Spitter and Slimer Maggots.
So they're your DAC effects.
Your DAC effects is that. So these guys used to be Thorn Fists, I suppose.
Okay, and they're better because those weapons have improved.
And they have, they're Vicious Hunter, so no saving, no cover. Yeah, ignores cover.
Okay, and of course you can give them the 3+ ballistic skill, which is awesome.
Yep. So that's
and none of those are heavy weapons, so that's pretty sweet. How are you gonna run your Carnifex, man? So
well, I think I'm gonna
totally
just
do a
have
whole
to
army.
buy 12 Carnifexes. Moloch, I don't know. I didn't like the Moloch in the new edition. He used to be great, and then he was kind of weird. And
I don't think it's changed at all.
He doesn't do a lot of more moves. He's super cheap though, so I mean it's cool. But heavy
the whole way that it works. It was janky in the last edition, and it continues to be janky in this edition.
And he's a heavy support dude, and I like Exocrines better.
Yeah.
Trigon, I love Trigons.
Trigon Primes. I don't think they changed.
And they seem like they were like well positioned.
Yeah,
in the last,
we'll look at the points. That's where they needed to change probably.
Yeah. But I think like everything else, the relative points in all these codexes seem to be the same because everything goes down a little bit. So like the fact that these guys go down a little bit doesn't really seem to change all that much because everything else went down. Still love the Tyrannocytes were great. Hopefully, if they went down, I think they went down quite a bit from what I.
Hopefully not. Freaking
they were like the special
super the mobile drop pod.
Yeah. And what's great now is that their Death Spitters, which used to be 18, are now 24. So
because these things come down, they unload, and then you're like, okay, now I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then it's like lighting you up with like 15 shots.
It's 5 times 3.
It's ridiculous.
Crappy ballistic skill, but you could upgrade some of their guns. You can get the Venom Cannons, you can get the Barb Stranglers. Like there's a lot of great shooty options
but just
for these.
Mentally, this thing drops down, and then you're like, okay, now it's just a drop pod, right? Like a Stormbolter shot, but no. And it moves, and it can charge, and you're like, man.
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, Harpy, loved Harpy.
Harpies, Hive Crones. So these are now...
they swapped in the old decks. These were better, than these were worse. Now I think these are better. These are slightly worse, but I think they might have done something to help these guys out a bit because the Hive Crone really kind of took it in the pants.
Yeah. I thought you said these guys are flyers now.
That's what I heard.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, but they don't have supersonic rules, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, can you... Oh, they have the...
Yeah, what were they before?
They were just fast. They had nothing.
They were fast. Okay.
Monster fly.
Well, what that means is they don't take up slots. You can stick them in any detachment.
Oh, but
they're flyers.
But they don't... Oh,
right?
you
0 to 1 flyers.
but they're not -1 to hit, though.
No, they're not supersonic. Yeah. So, but you still get their maneuverability, and they don't take up your slot. Your
But I really like
slot.
the idea that they would get minus. But your fast attack slot is not contested by anything else, right? That's the problem. They're not. Oh, I guess gargoyles.
Sure.
Gargoyles, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But the good thing is that the heavy venom cannon now is that much better.
So the venom cannon just remind us assault D3 9 minus 2 3.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
so basically it was -1 and it was D3.
That's nice. That's a nice gun.
And it was the cheaper option compared to the Stranglethorn. So if it's still this cheaper option, I think that's pretty sweet.
That's definitely a nice gun. Yeah. Okay, well that's an interesting change to make them flyers.
Do we miss the gargoyles? I think we did.
Yes, we did. Why you want to talk about gargoyles?
No, it's fine. No, actually, I mean, are they troops? Where are they?
Yeah,
they put them in
I think they're fast attack.
Oh right, they are fast attack. Right. Oh no,
they're fast attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're right there.
Yeah.
Because they're great. I don't have any of them.
You don't have any?
No,
There
so
you
I
go.
don't feel like
buy.
hoarding up on gargoyles. So I'm gonna work with what I got.
Sporocyst.
That's the fortification one. So it's basically like half of this in the ground, and then it shoots. Half of this in the ground, and then it shoots these things.
But is it that big or is it?
It's basically half of that. So it's like it doesn't have the bottom half of it. So it's like
okay.
It's like
I thought when you said fortification, it was going to be like a massive.
No, it's just that guy stuck in the ground.
Part of me was hoping I would see here Lord of War, Mother Brain, or Hive Mind, and you can buy like a brain in a jar.
Oh, I wanted it.
And you have to shoot it with like a freeze gun and then like missiles. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any more weapons we want to talk about? Or
not particularly. I just want to see points now. I'm kind of curious about.
Okay, yeah. So at this point, I normally jump to points at this point.
Okay, at this point,
and
then we're gonna do,
and then we do all the other stuff.
Okay.
Wait, so let's. Why don't you open up the points there in the index, unless you know them all off by heart, Phil, which you might.
Yeah, but I know that some of them got combined because some of them had unique weaponry that was only unique to one thing, so they bundled them up.
All right, let's just go down. What's changed? What hasn't?
Biovores 24 does not include war gear to 36, and I bet you it's just that they put the points of its ranged gun, which was mine launcher. Spore mine launcher was 12 points there, so 12 plus 24, 36.
And 0. Okay, so they just
there's going to be a lot of this going on. Broodlord's the same.
Carnifex is
the same. Exocrine 150 here, 216 there. But if I look at its bioplasmic cannon, which is
0.
It was 66 there, and they had a
so same price.
So yeah, I think most of these are.
Gene Stealer's 10.
Gene Stealer's 10.
But you have to pay for the
most of the stuff was free, like
Scything Talons and stuff.
Yeah, but your
so that hasn't changed.
Yeah, most of the stuff.
Harpy 121.
Harpies was 78 before, but you had to buy. I think
that makes this such a pain in the ass to compare.
Yeah, but basically what you're getting is its sighting wings are 0, and they used to be like something.
Okay.
They used to be sighting wings used to be 13.
Okay, I think it's reasonable for a Harpy.
Yeah, and he might have actually gone up a little bit.
Hive Crone 153. Hive Guard 18.
18 to 18.
Okay.
Hive Tyrant 143.
143. Okay. Hive Tyrant same group, but he got that much better. So
that's the thing. Most of these things.
Hive Tyrant with wings 170.
170. Yeah.
Okay.
It was Hormagaunts are still 5. Lictor
41. Maliceptor. Moloch 104.
162.
Mycalids. Neurothrop 70.
That's a new one. So that's an HQ choice. So that's 70 points.
So what was it before?
Nothing. It just didn't exist. It's a new one.
It's a completely new model.
It's a brand new. It used to be the HQ choice, like in the Zone Throat box. You would have that one that was kind of like
it was like the sergeant of the Zone.
So they just made a.
Oh, that's sweet. That. Okay, that gives you 70 points for a HQ. So
it's the cheapest one I think they have.
Still expensive for
have like the
throwaway HQ.
Well, the Tyranid Prime was 100 points for the old. Like he was the cheapest before plus year. Okay. So at 70, it's actually a bargain.
It's certainly not something like Primaire Psychers.
No, and he's great. He's Synapse and he's Psyker. So
all right, Power Force 38, Raveners 23.
Power Force with 23 here, but probably with guns. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky to
Ripper
compare.
Swarms.
I think most of the point changes, like I said, are their point shuffles.
So Screamer Killer's 90. That wasn't in the.
It's not in, but it was like you could give them the plasma before you could give them. So bioplasma. Bioplasma was 9 points,
and Carnifex was 67. So
67 plus 9 plus the crushing claws or the sighting talons. So like it's all
probably all adds up.
You're shuffling.
Spore Mine's 10. Termagant's 4. They changed it all.
No, that's the same.
Tervagon 225.
Turbogon, it was 217, but you had to add some stuff. So
Okay, why did they do that? Because they didn't do that for any other index.
I'm happy they did, because before it was weird because a lot of them had unique war gear, and you would end up paying the points.
No, but what I mean is, why did they do that with that index when nobody else did?
No, right.
Like none of the other codexes so far have changed like that in terms of
what's what.
Yeah.
I mean, like the guns, I think we'll see some changes in the guns. Actually, that might be a better use of our time.
Trigon 108, Trigon Prime 138, Unit Warriors 20. None of these have changed.
But if you look at the guns, I think that's where like here, your acid spray used to be 31. It's because these are just
Swarmlord's still 300,
which is. Fine, you got an extra
acid spray 25,
31
because that went down.
Barb Strangler 15 to 10.
Barb Strangler 15 to 10.
That's great.
Bioplasma's 9.
These are all 0, 0. Bioplasma is still 9.
Death Spitters down to 5.
Death Spitters, just the regular one was 8. So yeah.
Okay, 8 to 5 with maggots down to 7.
10 to 7.
Okay.
3 points.
Devourers down to 4.
It used to be 4.
Brainleech Worms down to 7.
Always 7 before.
Flesh Hooks 2. Flesh Borer Hive. Heavy Venom Cannon down to 25.
Did you get the Flesh Borer Hive is 15, 28.
15. Yeah.
Which one?
Heavy Venom 25.
35 point. Ooh.
5 point decrease. Okay. Impalers 30.
Impaler was great. Yeah, I mean, Impaler didn't change. So
okay. Rupture Cannon 49.
Rupture Cannon 46.
Oh, it went up. But it got buffed.
3 point. Yeah, 3 point up. Yeah, but so much better.
Yeah. Shock Cannon 21.
21 same.
Spine Banks. Anyway, I've never heard of any of these. Stinger Salvo 8 points.
I think it used to be Stinger Salvo, probably the same. Stinger Salvo seems. Where are you? 11. So
okay, that went down 3.
Like weird, like
Stranglethorn Cannon.
Was Heavy Venom Cannon? You went 25 to. 30. Yeah, so you're getting a Stranglethorn used to be 38 to 25.
38 to 25 for the Stranglethorn.
So basically, they brought him in line with the Heavy Venom cannons, because before it was like one felt stronger than the other. So so that's an interesting,
melee weapon wise, I don't know what's big here. Crushing Claws.
Crushing 20. Actually, what I want to see is the monstrous rending claws. I want to see if they're
monstrous
still
rending
zero,
claws still 0. Monstrous
and I wonder if you can still give them to the flying hive tyrant, because I thought I put them on my flying hive tyrants because I thought they were better, almost better than the scything talons, the monstrous scything talons in a lot of cases, especially for the price.
So you pay
15 points. I think. Oh, they probably brought them down.
So it's all the monstrous scything talons are basically the same price regardless of what they're on now.
See, it used to be 31. They halved them. So that's
for
good.
what?
For like the hive tyrant, it's 31.
So now they're 15.
Yeah, that's
jeez, it's half price, man.
Yep. But it makes sense because before it just seemed like so much better to take the rending claws for free. So
okay, biomorphs. These are the same. Adrenal glands, 5 points, 1 point.
They're all pretty cheap. So a big change doesn't.
Toxin sacks.
Oh, Spore Cyst is Spore Cyst is 10. And that's actually a thing for the Harpy, I believe. That makes them. Oh no, maybe not. I think that's the -1 to hit one. Anyways.
Okay, so now we're on to actually the good stuff. So they got objectives secured, of course, like everybody else. They talk about all your high fleet adaptations, or your chapter tactics, or your regiments. Mm-hmm. And here are your high fleet adaptations. So Behemoth,
reroll
fail charges.
Sweet, so good for deep striking shenanigans, Trigons, etc. Great.
Kraken, questing tendrils. When a unit with this adaptation advances, roll 3 dice instead and pick the highest. In addition, can fall back and charge.
Okay, not my favorite. It's great, but I don't know. I think there's other nicer ones. Okay,
and Leviathan, roll d6 each time a unit with this adaptation loses a wound. On a 6, so they get a 6 up feel no pain, and it does not stack with any other feel no pain. So they started doing that with the Elder Codex.
Yeah.
They don't let people stack their multiple.
Before you could do a 5/6 and then you're adding a 6. So cool.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Gorgon, reroll wound rolls of 1 in the fight phase.
It's okay.
Jormungandr, tunnel networks. A unit with this adaptation, other than fly units, always have cover.
Yeah.
And it loses the benefit if it advances or charges.
So I mean that's sweet. Like that's really good. It's good for a gunline thing because you're just minus it's just I don't know +1 even monsters. So 2+ save monsters is pretty sweet.
Hydra, reroll hit rolls in the fight phase for units with this adaptation containing fewer models than their own, which is a lot of times what happens.
Like Hormagaunts fighting other things. So
Yeah.
so it's okay, but not. Yeah.
But what you can do is you can make your detachments, right?
You could, yeah,
Right. So you put all your Gribblies in the Hydra detachment, and and finally Chronos.
that one a lot.
Reroll hit rolls of 1
Yeah.
with this adaptation in your shooting phase. It didn't move. So you make your Hive guards in a Chronos detachment.
Yeah, 3+ reroll ones, and then 3+.
Yeah, because I tell you what these guys need. Every time I played you, I was like, Phil, they have no rerolls?
Nope.
Right? That was my
Nope.
question, right? Because I'm a Marine player. I'm like, everybody's got rerolls.
This is for me. This is like I love it. And same thing with my like the harpies and stuff. Like these guys with the heavy venom cannons, they're shooting, they're rerolling ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's great.
Yeah.
Big
So
fan.
what's interesting is, well, you can't move if you're going to be
Oh,
shooting.
no,
that.
never mind. Yeah,
But,
sorry.
but as a Marine player, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks because I already have that for like a 40-point HQ. But you guys really need that, right? So which one do you think is the best here, Phil?
I think the one that I will try the first is going to be this one. The Chronos one will be my first to try. And then I'm very tempted by this one.
Phil charges.
Yeah. So these two are probably my favorite. This one is neat, but it's reactive. Whereas these two are like this is like very, very like you can build around this very well. You can plus a shooting army with that. This is also nice, but you're just it's just you're tougher,
Yeah.
which is good.
Like I can see like Jeremy, who plays Genestealer heavy, will be doing one of these two, right?
Yeah.
So they can re-roll their failed charge rolls.
you run and you charge, and
right?
So
Or here,
Yeah.
like, so they get to roll 3 dice for advance. So you make sure you try and get that 6 on the advance, and then you can also fall back and charge. That means you're attacking first,
yes, you're
right?
Oh yeah.
And you make that person spend their 2 CP if they want to interrupt you.
And I think that's fantastic. For me, that's for me, like the ones that I like that center around the way I already play. I wouldn't have to change my play style, and I could make good use of both of these very well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
great. I love it. Yeah.
All right, I think it's good. All the codexes have been good so far, and it gives you different ways of playing your armies, and you can mix and match them with your detachment abilities. So it's been pretty good. All right, let's talk stratagems. Phil, pick one you like.
Yeah, Psychic Barrage is pretty sweet. Even though I don't have any Zoanthropes, I think that's nice.
Read it for us.
If you use a stratagem in your Psychic phase, if Zoanthropes unit in your army has at least 3 models, is within 6 inches of two other such units. So you really need to
You need to commit to this.
So you need to have like 9.
But Zoanthropes are better in batches anyway.
Yeah. But okay, never. Yeah, so you pick a point on the battlefield within 18 inches, which is pretty short range. And then you pick roll dice for each unit within 3 inches. Add 1 to the result if the unit is being rolled as 10 or more models. But it's a strapped one if it's a character on a 4+. That unit suffers 3d3 mortal wounds.
So
I take it back.
There's a lot of criteria.
I just thought it was like a flat, like it just does.
You got to do this and this and this and this, and then at the end of the day, you still got to roll a 4+.
Yeah, or a 5+ if you're doing a character.
And then it does 3d3, which
might
is a
do it
lot.
Yeah,
But you could also just do 3 wounds. But
I just think the regular.
It's only a CP though.
It is cool, but there's a lot of other nice.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pick.
Oh, that's the one that you get the command points back. Feeder tendrils, but it's a Genestealer, Lictor, Toxic Screen, or Baranthrope.
You have to kill something, and you have to spend the CP to do it. Yeah.
Garbage.
So actually, I like Implant Attack for a CP. After you fight something in the fight phase, anything that was wounded but not killed, 2+, they get a mortal wound. You know, the number of times when that 2 wound thing, you just need another wound or whatever. I really like that. That's kind of cool.
Pretty sweet.
So they got a classic kind of relics codex that all codexes get. What else do you like here, Phil?
Make a second move with that unit. That's pretty sweet. This Metabolic Overdrive is pretty cool. Movement phase. After moving, you can make a second move, including advance if you wish. When you do, you must roll dice for each model unit on a 1, inflicts a mortal wound on the unit. Okay. Well,
I really like that. I think you're using that on Genestealers that didn't get the Swarm Lord. You don't necessarily have to deep strike everything. They can advance and charge, right? So now you're making double moving, advancing Genestealers.
But it's the old, like, if you got 20, you roll 20 dice. However many ones you get, you take immortal. So
yeah, but
I would just use it on like gaunts for like big unit of gaunts. You got to get them in position to just like capture an objective or something. Like you just send them off and you don't mind if some die.
All right, I like this one. Single-minded annihilation for 2 CP. Shooting unit gets to shoot again.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that.
Right? Like what is it? Your 90 devourer shots or
this thing, and then also
is that infantry though?
Oh no, it's not. But these guys are.
Yep, those guys. So this is the one I was talking about. They can
So
shoot
this
again.
this because before you'd only take units to 3, but now you take a big unit
Or a big unit of Termagants with like whatever 90 shots or whatever shooting
this
again.
Is really nice with these
I
guys,
think
so.
we're gonna see Tyranid brigades because you need CP to run this.
I like
nicely.
that a lot. I would use that.
All right, what else do you like here, Phil?
Haruspex, blah blah, Sporefield. I don't know.
A bunch of Lictor ones. Which
I can
suck.
sell like I mean, Power of the Hive Might. Select the Tyranid Psyker. You can attempt to manifest 1 additional psychic power.
Yep.
So, that
so
can
most
be cool.
codexes have that.
Yeah, I could do that.
This one allows your. This is like a banner. If you're about to die, you get to shoot or fight before you die. I really like this one. So overrun for a CP. When a Tyranid unit destroys a unit in the fight phase, which happens a lot with Gene Stealers, and it's not within 3 inches, they can instead move and advance.
Whoa, cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Right?
I like that.
Which is sweet.
There was a regeneration one that I like to. I missed the old, but it's only D3 wounds, but for 2 CP. If it was 1 CP, D3 would have made sense. But
yeah,
because like I've been wanting a way to regenerate some big creatures, but.
Okay, what do you like here? These are the High Fleet specific stratagems.
Yeah, I think we talked about this one.
Yeah, so I really like Chronos, Deepest Shadow. This allows you, enemy psyker within 24 inches tries to manifest the power. They can only roll 1 dice.
Yep.
And then you Shadow of the Warp that, -1, and then there's something else later that makes them peril and kill themselves. So good.
So, and Endless Storm, does that work with, do you have to pay for the points?
Yes, you do. So this is another one of those
Wow.
recycling
Yeah.
infantry CPs, but you got to pay the points. But then how many points are you talking about for, like, a bunch of Hormagaunts?
This is interesting. So even from your that can fly. Okay, at least no, never mind. That's not interesting at all.
Not that interesting?
Nope.
Okay.
If psychic powers, that's really interesting because they now have 3 more.
Yeah,
So
let's
everyone's
go
got
on
6.
to the Hive Mind powers. There's 3 more. So the ones you already had were Dominion, Catalyst, and the Horror. They haven't changed.
Oh, they're the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because before Catalyst, you could give it to someone.
No,
else.
sorry. Onslaught, Catalyst, and
so
the Horror were the ones you had before.
So Dominion is the
Dominion
old,
is new.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the old like.
So Warp Charge 5, friendly Tyranid unit
Yeah.
within 36 inches. That has instinctive behavior, ignores it. Which it's kind of hard to, as we already discussed, to get into instinctive behavior these days. So Catalyst, the Horror, the same. Onslaught is the same.
Actually, they're all the same as the old ones. But
Yeah. Paroxysm is making its return. Warp charge of 5, enemy unit within 18 inches until your next psychic phase. They cannot fight in the fight phase until everybody's finished.
so fight last.
Yeah. So
And then?
that's okay. Yeah. And it just says
That's
that.
it. Oh, that's it. Okay,
yeah.
so it's just a whole bunch of blah blah for nothing.
And Psychic Scream makes its triumphant return. Warp charge of 5, if manifested, nearest enemy unit within 18 suffers D3 mortal wounds, so
And
it's a smite.
They can forget powers.
And then you forget a power,
Cool.
which is awesome. Because
still
people
like
only have 1 or 2 powers
Catalyst
these days.
is still my favorite. And I like the horror.
But there's rumors that Smite's getting
Yep.
nerfed,
Yep.
and so this is your Smite, right?
Yeah. That's good enough.
Yeah, awesome. Oh wait, any artifacts stick out to you, Phil? Most of the artifacts
I
in
don't
most of
know.
the codexes have not been that great.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of them.
The
but-
weapon ones usually aren't that good.
but you have to pay points. You have to pay points for it.
No,
right?
you don't pay points.
Oh, okay.
But they can only be upgraded. Replaces a specific weapon
Oh, okay,
sometimes.
okay.
Sometimes if it's a weapon.
I'm sure there's
one.
some decent options.
Yeah, this Kraken one gives you a -1 to hit for your whoever's
This could be
holding the
cool. So
artifact.
there's a battle thorn cannon. You can add 1. Oh no, never mind. That's pretty much the same.
This Gorgon one, you add 1 to your toughness. That's all right.
Yeah.
And Warlord traits.
Yeah. Get something different than just that 6-up invulnerable.
Yeah, Alien Cunning at the start of your first battle round, but before the first turn begins, you can set up your Warlord again, which is pretty cool. Heightened senses, your Warlord never suffers any penalties to hit rolls. That is still Overwatch,
Yeah.
so they're like a Dark Reaper.
more synapse. That's fine.
Synaptic is adds 6 to Synapse that makes it 18 inches
Or-
by
or-
default, or 24 if it's like a
24
Hive
for the big
Tyrant.
one, yeah.
It's crazy. Mind Eater, every time your Warlord slays a character, choose a friendly unit within 3 inches, they cannot move.
Nah.
Instinctive Killer, at the beginning of your battle, choose an enemy unit, reroll failed hit rolls for the Warlord against that unit.
Could be fun. Oh, okay, yeah.
Adaptive Biology, from the end of the first Warlord phase, suffers any wounds. You the remainder of the battle, when inflicting damage, reduce the damage by 1.
I would probably
So I
do
think
that,
that's the one you're taking,
Yeah,
right?
Just be a little.
Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh no, there's Hive fleets.
So yeah, so these are
Oh, man,
specific
okay.
to.
Oh, there's one of each, eh?
To them. Yep. So Behemoth, wound roll of 6+, inflicts an additional damage. That's pretty nice. All right. The rest of these aren't that good, but I tell you, Kronos again, anti-psyker. When an enemy psyker fails a psychic test within 18 inches of the Warlord, they suffer D3 mortal wounds, and they already took a -1 and possibly another rolling 1 dice. Yeah. So it makes it risky to smite.
Yeah, I could see that being pretty sweet. I would see myself using that. Yeah.
So the real question is, if you only roll 1 dice, can you still peril? Because you're supposed to need 2 1s to peril. I guess you can't peril if you're only rolling 1 dice.
You don't peril, but you fail it.
So you still take D3 mortals. So, yeah, but then you won't explode and kill everybody else.
No, but you'll take wounds. I don't know. It's just nice.
So named characters have assigned ones. So the Swarm Lord is assigned the one that lets you reset him up, which might be useful.
Sure.
One Eye, Death Leaper, Red Terror. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool, and that's it.
Sweet.
So what do you think, Phil?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
Yeah, but now I got to think about putting guns back on.
Now you got to remodel all your guys
after he destroyed that poor.
Where do you think this puts Tyranids compared to Guard, Mixed Chaos?
I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks at
BNP9.
Well, I don't know. Like I know everyone else got some good stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think anybody. The Ottawa meta is a little bit different from, I don't think nobody here runs 15 Malefic Lords or whatever, but I think it's definitely going to be fun to see what Tyranids can do in a couple of weeks. And really looking forward to it.
I thought they were fun before. Now they're just better. So I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think GW did well with this codex, like it has with almost every codex. Maybe the Craft Roll wasn't that good. Yeah, that'll be exciting to see. All right, well, thanks for joining me, Phil.
Pleasure.
And from old One Eye, thanks for watching our Tyranid read through, and we'll catch you next time.